Welcome to Chapter 10, White-Collar Crime and Organized Crime. You know, I've worked in a few different district attorney's offices over the years, and I soon discovered, to my surprise, that when you get hired as a new assistant DA, you're the low person on the roster, so you don't really typically get to pick which types of crimes you're going to handle if the office has things divided up by subject matter, as some do. And what I quickly learned is the new guy gets white-collar crime. I was surprised by this. I thought white-collar crime seems complicated, and I would think that that would go to somebody who has a great deal of experience. White-collar crime is complicated, and I think that that's frankly one of the reasons why the new person who doesn't have much choice gets it. It's paper-intensive, and there are usually some numbers to crunch. Also, it's not very flashy. Okay? With white-collar crime, typically you don't have car chases and guns involved and people getting hit over the head with a shovel or anything like that. Okay? So it's not like that. But white-collar crime has a bigger impact than many of those other types of crimes on a much larger group of people. Did you know that the average bank robbery nets less than $10,000? I'm talking about a bank robbery, which is a significant crime with significant penalties attached and significant danger involved. That's child's play for a white-collar criminal. $10,000 is child's play for a white-collar criminal. As you'll find out in this chapter, it's actually less than child's play, because a child, a teenager that you're going to learn about here, became a millionaire in high school through using his parents' computer to engage in a pump and dump scheme, which you'll learn about here too, from the comfort of his own parents' home. So white-collar crime and electronic crime being a subset of that is a significant field, and it's one that definitely merits our attention. And that's what we're going to cover in this chapter. We will define white-collar crime. We'll talk about holding corporations criminally liable, which is difficult to do, as you'll discover. We'll talk about environmental statutes and OSHA, occupational standards, securities fraud and insider trading, mail fraud, wire fraud, the Travel Act, healthcare fraud, which is significant amounts of money, the Sherman Antitrust Act, money laundering. What do you do with all of that all of those ill-gotten gains? Access device fraud, identity theft, currency violations and tax crimes, computer crime, intellectual property law, and finally RICO. And so it's a broad-ranging chapter. It covers a great deal of material. Hang in there. Some of it gets a little dry, I'll be honest. Okay, it's not as exciting. Again, I don't think you're going to have any car chases in this chapter. But it is very interesting, and I think that, and it's definitely worthwhile to study. So I hope that you find it interesting. I know that it's worthwhile to study this area because it has such a major impact on the victims. And I hope you enjoy it.